Why do so many young people work harder than ever yet stay broke, frustrated and confused about money? Napoleon Hill studied over 500 wealthy individuals and uncovered a brutal truth: riches don't begin in the wallet, they begin in the mind. Dreams die not because of lack of talent, but because of wrong habits, weak decisions and invisible mental chains. If you've ever wondered why effort alone isn't paying off, this message is for you. Stay with me till the end, because one lesson here could completely change how you think, act and build wealth for the rest of your life. Lesson 1. Lack of a definite purpose. The tragedy of the average person is not a lack of potential, but a lack of direction. Napoleon Hill's foundational principle of a definite major aim is the North Star of any successful life. Without it, you are like a ship without a rudder, caught in the currents of social media trends, peer pressure, and the whims of the job market. Most young people say they want to be rich, but richness is a vague concept that the brain cannot process into an actionable plan. To the subconscious mind, more money could mean finding $1 on the street. Without a specific numerical target and a deadline, the mind lacks the tension required to spark creativity and recognize opportunity. When you define exactly what you want, your brain's reticular activating system RAS begins to filter the world differently, highlighting the people, books, and resources that align with your goal while ignoring the noise that previously distracted you. A definite purpose acts as a psychological anchor. In your 20s and 30s, you are bombarded with options. Should you start a business, invest in real estate, climb the corporate ladder? If you haven't decided on your why and your what, you will likely try all of them and master none. This is known as drifting. Hill observed that drifters are easily influenced by the opinions of others and are prone to quitting when things get difficult. However, when you possess a burning desire for a specific outcome, your energy is consolidated. This focus creates a compounding effect. Instead of spreading 100 units of energy across 10 different interests, you apply 1,000 units to a single point of impact. This is the secret of the overnight success that was actually 10 years in the making. It was the result of a singular, unwavering focus on a definite purpose. Furthermore, a definite purpose provides the emotional fuel necessary to survive the dip, that period where your efforts haven't yet yielded visible results. Young people today are conditioned for instant gratification through likes, notifications, and fast-paced digital consumption. Wealth creation, however, is a slow-cook process. If your purpose is shallow, like wanting a luxury car just to impress people you don't like, you will run out of fuel when the market crashes or your first 3 attempts fail. A true definite purpose is often tied to something larger, a mission to solve a problem, a desire to provide for a family, or the drive to achieve personal mastery. This depth of purpose transforms work from a chore into a mission. It changes your identity from someone who is trying to make money to someone who is building a legacy, and that shift in identity is where true wealth begins. Lesson 2. Fear of failure and criticism. Fear is the ultimate invisible tax on wealth. Napoleon Hill identified 6 basic fears, but for young people today, the fear of criticism and the fear of failure are the most paralyzing. We live in an era of digital permanence where a mistake can be recorded, shared, and mocked globally. This has created a generation of perfectionists who are actually just terrified of being judged. They wait for the perfect moment to launch, the perfect business plan, or the perfect market conditions. But perfection is a myth used to justify procrastination. Wealthy individuals understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a vital component of it. Every failure is a data point, a lesson in what doesn't work, which moves you one step closer to what does. By avoiding failure, you are simultaneously avoiding the very lessons required to sustain wealth. The fear of criticism is perhaps even more insidious because it often comes from those closest to us, friends and family. When a young person decides to deviate from the traditional path to pursue wealth, they are often met with skepticism or outright mockery. This crab-in-a-bucket mentality can lead to self-sabotage. You might subconsciously slow your progress to stay relatable to your peer group. Hill taught that wealth rewards courage, and courage is not the absence of fear but the realization that something else is more important. To build substantial wealth, you must be willing to be misunderstood for long periods. You must develop a psychological armor that allows you to value your own vision over the uneducated opinions of those who have never built anything themselves. Moreover, The fear of failure often manifests as a scarcity mindset. Young people may hold on to a mediocre job or a safe investment because they are afraid of losing what they have. However, wealth is built on calculated risk. If you are too afraid to lose, you are too afraid to win. The greatest asset a young person has is time, which provides a buffer against failure. If you fail at 22, you have decades to recover. If you play it safe at 22, you lose the opportunity to develop the risk tolerance muscles needed to manage large sums of money later in life. Overcoming fear requires a shift in perspective, seeing every setback as a setup for a comeback. Once you realize that the world doesn't end when you fail, you become dangerous in the best way possible to the status quo. Lesson 3: Dependence on formal education alone. There is a dangerous misconception that a university degree is a golden ticket to financial freedom. While formal education has its place, it is often designed to produce efficient employees, not visionary wealth builders. Hill pointed out that educated men are often those who have developed the faculties of their minds to acquire anything they want without violating the rights of others, not necessarily those who have the most degrees. Many young people fall into the trap of credentialism, believing that one more certificate or one more master's degree will finally make them ready. In reality, wealth favors specialized knowledge and the ability to organize that knowledge into a plan of action. The world does not pay you for what you know, it pays you for what you can do with what you know. The gap between academic theory and financial reality is vast. In school, you are taught to follow instructions, avoid mistakes, and compete for a single right answer. In the world of wealth, you must give instructions, embrace mistakes as teachers, and realize there are multiple paths to a solution. This reliance on formal education often leads to intellectual arrogance, where a young person feels entitled to a high income because of their pedigree. Wealth, however, is indifferent to your diploma. It flows toward value. If you cannot solve a problem for a specific group of people or create a product that improves lives, your degree is functionally worthless in the marketplace. Continuous self-education, reading, attending seminars, finding mentors, and hands-on experimentation is the only way to stay relevant in an evolving economy. Furthermore, the debt often associated with formal education can become an anchor that prevents wealth creation. Many young people start their adult lives in a deep financial hole, forced to take high-stress, low-fulfillment jobs just to service their student loans. This creates a cycle of dependency where they cannot afford to take the risks necessary for entrepreneurship or aggressive investing. Hill emphasized the importance of specialized knowledge, which is often acquired outside the classroom. Whether it's learning digital marketing, real estate law, or coding, the most profitable skills are usually those you teach yourself out of necessity and curiosity. The most successful people are lifelong students who view their graduation not as the end of learning but as the beginning of their true education. Lesson 4: Lack of persistence. Persistence is the insurance policy against failure. Napoleon Hill's research into the lives of the world's most successful people revealed one recurring theme. They all faced a point where quitting seemed like the only logical option, yet they kept going. Most young people today suffer from shiny object syndrome. They start a project with high enthusiasm, but as soon as the initial excitement wears off and the drudgery phase begins, they pivot to something else. They mistake a lack of immediate results for a flaw in the plan. In reality, the universe often tests our resolve through delays and temporary defeats. If you switch goals every time things get hard, you are essentially restarting your compounding clock at zero every single time. There is a concept called 3 feet from gold, a story Hill used to describe a miner who quit digging just 3 feet away from a massive gold vein. This is the reality for many young entrepreneurs and investors. They put in 90% of the work, but they quit at the 95% mark because they can't see the finish line. Persistence is not just about blind stubbornness, it is about maintaining your definite purpose while being flexible with your methods. If one path is blocked, you find another, but you do not change the destination. This level of commitment is rare, which is exactly why the rewards for persistence are so high. The marketplace eventually exhausts all those who are half-hearted, leaving the spoils to those who refuse to go away. Persistence also builds a powerful reputation both with yourself and with others. When you consistently show up and push through challenges, you develop self-trust. You begin to believe in your own ability to figure things out, which is the ultimate form of confidence. Others also take notice. Investors, partners, and mentors are drawn to people who demonstrate staying power. No one wants to back a quitter. In a world that prizes speed, the ability to endure is a competitive advantage. Young people who understand that wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, are the ones who eventually cross the finish line. They understand that every no is just a prelude to a yes, and every failure is simply a prerequisite for a massive breakthrough. Lesson 5. Poor use of time and energy. Time is the only asset that cannot be replenished, yet it is the one most recklessly squandered by the young. Napoleon Hill spoke at length about organized planning and the mastermind, both of which require a disciplined use of one's mental and physical energy. In the modern age, our energy is under constant assault from dopamine traps, short-form videos, endless scrolling, and video games. These activities provide a sense of achievement without any actual progress. Many young people spend their most productive hours in a state of passive consumption rather than active creation. They have the energy to build empires, but they spend it on digital entertainment, leaving only the scraps for their dreams. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Hill noted that the successful person has a plan for their time, even if it's a simple list of 6 priority tasks for the day. Without a plan, you are reactive. You respond to emails, texts, and other people's agendas, effectively working for them instead of yourself. Wealthy people protect their time ruthlessly. They understand the 80-20th rule, that 80% of their results come from 20% of their activities. Young people who want to build wealth must audit their habits. Are you spending time with people who challenge you, or people who merely comfort you? Are you investing your energy in building skills, or are you leaking it through low-value social interactions and habits that offer no return on investment? Finally, the use of energy extends to your mental focus. Hill warned against scattered thinking. When you jump from task to task, you suffer from task switching cost, which lowers your IQ and drains your willpower. Deep focused work, what Hill might call concentration, is a superpower in the 21st century. If you can focus on a single difficult task for 4 hours a day without distraction, you will outperform 99% of your peers. Wealth is attracted to order and repelled by chaos. By organizing your time, curating your environment, and directing your energy toward your definite major aim, you transform yourself from a victim of circumstance into a master of your destiny. Time will pass anyway. The only question is whether you will spend it or invest it. Napoleon Hill didn't say getting rich was easy, but he proved it was predictable. Young people fail not because success is impossible, but because they ignore its principles. A clear purpose, courage, persistence, self-education, and discipline. Master these and wealth stops being a mystery. Remember, you don't become rich by chance, you become rich by choice. Make that choice today.